Today, I want to talk about something that's at the core of our human experience, our emotions. Understanding and mastering our emotions can be one of the most powerful tools we have in shaping our lives. Now, you might wonder why this is so important. Well, let me share with you some insights that could change the way you look at your emotions. First, let's consider the significance of understanding our emotions. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by a sudden rush of anger or frustration, or perhaps found yourself inexplicably sad or anxious? These emotions, they often come uninvited, but they hold immense power over our actions and decisions. Understanding our emotions means we gain control over them rather than being controlled by them. Imagine being able to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. That, my friends, is the difference between a life of chaos and a life of harmony. You see, emotions are like the weather, unpredictable and varied. Some days are sunny and bright, while others are stormy and challenging. But just as we don't curse the rain for falling, we shouldn't blame our emotions for existing. Instead, we should strive to understand them, to learn from them, and ultimately, to master them. Now, let's talk about philosophy. You might be wondering, what does philosophy have to do with emotions? Everything, I say. Our personal philosophy is the lens through which we view the world. It shapes our thoughts, our beliefs, and yes, our emotional responses. If you have a positive, optimistic philosophy, you're more likely to respond to challenges with resilience and hope. On the other hand, a negative, pessimistic philosophy can lead to despair and defeat. Let me give you an example. Think about a time when you faced a setback. Maybe you lost a job, faced a financial difficulty, or experienced a personal loss. How did you respond? Did you see it as a catastrophic end or as an opportunity to learn and grow? The way you answered that question is a reflection of your personal philosophy. If you saw it as a chance to grow, congratulations, you have a resilient philosophy. If not, don't worry. The beauty of philosophy is that it can be changed, refined, and improved. When I was younger, I had my share of struggles. At one point, I was deep in debt, struggling to make ends meet. I could have easily given in to despair, but then I met a man who changed my life with a simple shift in perspective. He taught me that it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond to what happens. That little nugget of wisdom transformed my approach to life. I started seeing challenges as opportunities, setbacks as setups for a comeback. And you know what? My life began to change. Not overnight, but gradually, steadily. This brings us to another important point. Examples of how our personal philosophy affects our emotional reactions. Picture this: two people lose their jobs on the same day. One person sees it as a devastating blow, spends days wallowing in self-pity, and eventually falls into a deep depression. The other person sees it as a new beginning, an opportunity to pursue a long-held passion, and starts planning their next steps with excitement. Same situation, vastly different reactions. What's the difference? Their personal philosophy. One of the best ways to start mastering your emotions is to work on your philosophy. Start by questioning your beliefs. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Is there another way to look at this situation? What can I learn from this? These questions might seem simple, but they are incredibly powerful. They can shift your perspective from being a victim of your emotions to being the master of them. For instance, imagine you're stuck in traffic. You can choose to get angry, honk your horn, and let the frustration ruin your day. Or you can see it as a moment to catch up on an interesting podcast, practice some deep breathing, or even reflect on the traffic isn't going to change, but your reaction to it can make all the difference. Let me share a personal story. Years ago, I was late for an important meeting because of a flat tire. I was fuming, blaming everything from the nail on the road to the tire manufacturer, but then I remembered my mentor's words about perspective. But I took a deep breath, calmed down, and used the waiting time to review my notes for the meeting. When I finally arrived, I was composed and prepared. The meeting went exceptionally well, and I realized that mastering my emotions in that moment had made all the difference. So, what practical steps can you take to start mastering your emotions today? Begin with self-awareness. Pay attention to your emotional triggers. What situations tend to set you off? Once you identify these triggers, you can start developing strategies to deal with. Maybe it's counting to 10 before responding, or taking a short walk to clear your head. Small actions can lead to significant changes. Remember, it's not about suppressing your emotions, but understanding and managing them. Emotions are a natural part of being human. They provide us with valuable information about our experiences. Let's talk about something that can truly transform your life: self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. These are big words, but don't worry, we'll break them down into simple, practical ideas that you can start using right away. Now let's start with self-awareness. How many times have we reacted to something and later thought, why did I do that? Or what was I thinking? This happens to all of us. The truth is, most of us go through life without truly understanding our own thoughts and feelings. We react to situations out of habit, often without realizing why. But what if we could change that? What if we could understand ourselves better? Self-awareness is about knowing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. It's about recognizing your strengths and weaknesses. When you know yourself well, you can control your reactions instead of letting your reactions control you. This is the first step to emotional mastery. Now, why is self-awareness so important? Think about it. How can you improve something if you don't understand it? How can you fix a problem if you don't know what's causing it? Self-awareness allows you to see the root of your emotions. It helps you understand why you feel a certain way and how you can change it. Without self-awareness, you're like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly, reacting to the waves instead of steering your own course. So how do we improve self-awareness? One of the simplest techniques is to take a moment each day to reflect. Spend a few minutes in the morning or before bed thinking about your day. Ask yourself, how did I feel today? What made me feel that way? How did I react and why? This practice can help you start to see patterns in your behavior and emotion. Another powerful technique is journaling. Write down your thoughts and feelings each day. This doesn't have to be a long essay, just a few sentences about how you felt and why. Over time, you'll start to see patterns. You'll notice what triggers your emotions and how you typically react. This insight is incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. It's about being empathetic, recognizing how others feel, and responding appropriately. Emotional intelligence is crucial in every aspect of life, whether you're at work, at home, or with friends. How is self-awareness connected to emotional intelligence? Well, you can't understand others if you don't understand yourself first. When you're self-aware, you can recognize your own emotions and manage them effectively. This gives you the clarity and calmness needed to understand and respond to others' emotions. Imagine trying to help someone else calm down when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. It doesn't work very well, does it? But if you're calm and in control of your own emotions, you can be a steady and supportive presence for others. Let me give you an example. Think about a time when you were in a heated argument, maybe with a friend, a family member, or a colleague. If you were self-aware, you might have noticed your own rising anger and decided to take a deep breath before responding. This small moment of awareness can prevent a lot of unnecessary conflict. By staying calm, you're more likely to listen and understand the other person's perspective, which can lead to a more productive and positive outcome. Another technique to improve emotional intelligence is active listening. When someone is speaking to you, really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Pay attention to their words, their tone, and their body language. This helps you understand not just what they're saying, but how they're feeling. Respond with empathy and validation. Simple phrases like "I understand" or "that sounds tough" can make a big difference. It shows that you care about their feelings, not just the words they're saying. Also, practice empathy. Put yourself in others' shoes. Try to see the world from their perspective. This can be challenging, especially when you disagree with them, but it's essential for building strong, positive relationships. When you understand where someone else is coming from, you can respond in a way that is supportive and constructive. Now let's pause and think about this for a moment. Why should we care about improving our emotional intelligence? What's in it for us? Well, consider this. People with high emotional intelligence tend to be more successful in their careers. They have better relationships, both personally and professionally. They are more resilient in the face of challenges. They are happier and more fulfilled. Isn't that something worth striving for? So my friends, start with self-awareness. Take the time to understand your own emotions. Reflect, journal, listen, and empathize. These small steps can lead to significant changes in your life. You'll find that as you become more aware of your own emotions, you'll also become more attuned to the emotions of others. This will enhance your relationships, improve your decision-making, and help you lead a more balanced and fulfilling life. Remember, the key to mastering your emotions is not to suppress them, but to understand them. Use them as a guide, not a dictator. Let them inform your actions, not control them. With self-awareness and emotional intelligence, you can navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Let's dive into a topic that profoundly affects every aspect of our lives: the impact of emotions on decision-making. Now, we all make countless decisions every day, some small and some life-changing, but how often do we stop to consider how our emotions influence those decisions? Think about the last time you made a big decision. Maybe it was about your career, a relationship, or a major purchase. Were you feeling confident, anxious, excited, or fearful? Our emotions play a significant role in shaping our choices, often more than we realize. When we're aware of this influence, we can take steps to ensure that our decisions are not merely reactions to how we feel in the moment, but are thoughtful and balanced. Emotions can be powerful guides. They tell us what we value, what we fear, and what excites us. But they can also lead us astray if we're not careful. For example, when we're angry, we might make rash decisions we later regret. When we're overly optimistic, we might overlook potential risks. And when we're fearful, we might avoid opportunities that could lead to growth and success. So how do we navigate this complex interplay between emotion and decision-making? First, we must acknowledge that emotions are a natural part of being human. They're not something to be ignored or suppressed, but understood and managed. By recognizing our emotional state, we can take a step back and consider how it might be influencing our thoughts and actions. Let me share a story. A friend of mine, a successful business owner, once told me about a critical decision he had to make during a financial downturn. His company was facing significant challenges, and he was under immense stress. Naturally, his emotions were running high. He felt panic and fear, and those emotions were pushing him toward drastic, potentially harmful actions like laying off a large part of his workforce. Instead of acting immediately on these emotions, he took a moment to breathe and reflect. He realized that his fear was clouding his judgment. He decided to consult with his team, gather more information, and explore all possible options. In the end, he found a less drastic solution that not only saved jobs, but also positioned his company for future growth. By not letting his emotions dictate his choices, he made a more balanced and effective decision. The consequences of letting emotions dictate our decisions can be significant. Acting impulsively in a moment of anger, fear, or excitement can lead to mistakes that are hard to account. We might damage relationships, miss out on opportunities, or make choices that don't align with our long-term goals. So what can we do to make decisions with a balanced emotional perspective? Here are a few strategies. First, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means being present in the moment and fully aware of your emotions without judgment. It allows you to observe your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. When you notice you're feeling particularly emotional, take a few deep breaths and give yourself a moment to calm down. This simple practice can help you regain clarity and make more thoughtful decisions. Second, seek input from others. When emotions are high, our perspective can become narrow. Talking to trusted friends, family, or colleagues can provide valuable insights and help us see things more objectively. They might offer a different viewpoint or point out something we hadn't considered. This collaborative approach can lead to better, more balanced decisions. Third, consider the long-term impact. Emotions are often tied to immediate reactions, but decisions should be based on their long-term consequences. Ask yourself, how will this decision affect me in a week, a month, or a year? This perspective can help you move beyond the immediate emotional response and think about the broader implications of your choices. Lastly, develop a set of guiding principles. These are the values and beliefs that are important to you and can serve as a compass when emotions are high. When faced with a tough decision, refer back to these principles. They can provide a steady foundation and help you stay true to yourself, even when emotions threaten to pull you off course. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of the moment that you later regretted? We all have. The key is to learn from those experiences and develop the skills to manage our emotions better. By practicing mindfulness, seeking input, considering the long term, and adhering to our guiding principles, we can make decisions that are not only emotionally intelligent, but also aligned with our true goals and values. Remember, mastering your emotions doesn't mean you won't feel them. It means you recognize them, understand their influence, and choose to act in ways that are thoughtful and deliberate. This balance will lead to better decisions, stronger relationships, and a more fulfilling life. Now that we've discussed the importance of self-awareness and how emotions influence our decisions, let's get into some practical steps you can take to control your emotions every day. Let's start with daily habits. You see, emotions are like the weather. They come and go, sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy. But unlike the weather, we can have a lot more control over our emotions. One of the best ways to do this is by establishing daily habits that promote emotional control. Begin your day with a positive routine. How you start your morning sets the tone for the entire day. I recommend a few simple practices. First, take a moment for gratitude. Before you even get out of bed, think of a few things you're grateful for. This small act can shift your mindset from the very start. It might be your health, your family, or even just the opportunity to live another day. Gratitude opens the door to positivity and helps you approach the day with a more balanced emotional state. Next, incorporate some form of physical activity. Whether it's a brisk walk, a run, or a few minutes of stretching, moving your body helps release stress and anxiety. Exercise has been shown to boost mood and energy levels, making it a powerful tool for emotional control. It doesn't have to be intense, just consistent. Find what works for you and make it a regular part of your routine. Now, let's talk about the role of mindfulness and meditation. These practices are about being present in the moment and fully experiencing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Mindfulness helps you become aware of your feelings as they arise, giving you the space to choose how to respond rather than just reacting. You might be thinking, meditation sounds complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Start with just a few minutes each day. Sit quietly, focus on your breathing, and notice your thoughts without getting attached to them. It's like watching clouds pass by in the sky. They come and go, but you remain steady and calm. This simple practice can significantly improve your ability to manage stress and stay centered. Let me share a story about a friend of mine who started practicing mindfulness. He was a busy executive, always stressed and on edge. One day, he decided to try meditation. At first, it felt strange and uncomfortable, but he stuck with it, just a few minutes each morning. Over time, he noticed a change. He was calmer, more focused, and less reactive to stress. His relationships improved, and he found himself making better decisions. All because he took a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness. Consistent practice and self-discipline are crucial in mastering your emotions. It's like building a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger it becomes. Consistency is key. You can't expect to change your emotional habits overnight, but with regular practice, you'll see progress. Think about it this way. If you want to get in shape, you don't go to the gym once and expect to be fit. You go regularly, you work out consistently, and over time, you see results. The same goes for emotional control. By practicing mindfulness, gratitude, and physical activity daily, you're training your mind to handle emotions better. Self-discipline comes into play when sticking to these habits, even when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you're too tired, too busy, or just not in the mood. But it's on those days that practice matters most. It's about making a commitment to yourself and following through. Over time, these practices become second nature, and the benefits will be undeniable. What daily habits can I start today to improve my emotional control? Maybe it's a morning walk, a few minutes of meditation, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Start small, but start today. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to manage them effectively. By incorporating these simple practices into your daily routine, you'll find yourself more balanced, more resilient, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. Mastering your emotions is a journey one that requires consistent effort and self-discipline, but it's a journey well worth taking. The rewards are immense: better decision-making, healthier relationships, and a more fulfilling life. So let's commit to these practices starting today and watch as our lives transform for the better. Negative emotions can be like uninvited guests at a party. They show up unexpectedly, create chaos, and often overstay their welcome. We all experience them: anger, fear, sadness, and frustration. The key is not to deny these feelings, but to understand and First, let's talk about identifying these emotions. How often have you felt upset without really knowing why? Understanding your emotions starts with recognizing that when you feel a wave of negativity, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Naming your emotions can be incredibly powerful. It brings clarity and can often reduce the intensity of the feeling. Once you've identified your emotions, it's essential to understand them. Negative emotions are signals. They tell us that something is wrong or that we need to pay attention to something in our lives. For instance, anger might indicate that you feel wronged or that your boundaries have been crossed. Fear could be a sign that you're facing something new or challenging. By understanding these signals, you can address the root cause rather than just the symptom. Now, how do we manage and overcome these negative feelings? One effective technique is to change your perspective. When you're in the thick of a negative emotion, it can feel overwhelming, but stepping back and looking at the bigger picture can help. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? What can I learn from this experience? Shifting your perspective can transform a negative situation into an opportunity for growth. Another powerful technique is to use positive self-talk. Our thoughts have a significant impact on our emotions. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, try to reframe those thoughts in a more positive light. Instead of saying, I can't handle it, tell yourself, I can find a way through this. This simple shift in language can change your mindset and consequently your emotional state. Breathing exercises can also be incredibly effective. When we're stressed or upset, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid. Taking deep, slow breaths can calm your nervous system and help you regain control. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 4. Repeat this a few times, and you'll notice a difference. Let me share a story about a colleague of mine who used these techniques to manage his anxiety. He was often overwhelmed by the demands of his job, and it affected his performance and well-being. One day, he decided to try a different approach. He started by identifying his feelings and understanding why he was anxious. He then practiced deep breathing exercises and positive self-talk. Over time, he noticed that his anxiety decreased and he felt more in control. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, he learned to manage his negative emotions effectively. And now let's talk about the power of positive thinking and gratitude. It's amazing how focusing on the good in your life can shift your emotional state. When you're feeling down, take a moment to reflect on what's going well. What are you grateful for? It could be something as simple as a sunny day, a kind word from a friend, or a delicious meal. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and it can have a profound impact on your mood. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring the negatives. It's about acknowledging them but choosing to focus on the positives. It's about finding the silver lining in every cloud. When you practice gratitude and positive thinking regularly, you build emotion. You become better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace and optimism. So friend, let's embrace these techniques to manage and overcome negative emotions. Identify and understand your feelings. Change your perspective, use positive self-talk, practice deep breathing, and focus on gratitude. These small steps can lead to significant changes in how you feel and how you navigate the ups and downs of life. Let's now delve into the heart of building resilience and emotional strength. These are not just traits we're born with, but skills we can develop through practice and perseverance. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's what allows us to face challenges, endure setbacks, and emerge stronger on the other side. Think about it. How often do we encounter situations that test our limits? It could be a personal loss, a professional setback, or any unexpected turn of events. Life throws many curveballs, and resilience is our ability to catch them and throw them back. But how do we build this resilience? How do we cultivate the strength to keep going, even when times are tough? It starts with a mindset. Resilient people view challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. They understand that setbacks are a natural part of life, and that each one offers a chance to learn and improve. One key to building resilience is to embrace adversity. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Who wants to welcome hardship? But think of adversity as a test that, when passed, leaves you stronger and more capable. It's like lifting weights. Each time you lift a heavier weight, your muscles grow. Similarly, each time you face and overcome a challenge, your emotional muscles strengthen. Let me share a story about a friend of mine who exemplifies resilience. He was a small business owner who faced enormous challenges when his company went through a financial crisis. He could have given up, but he didn't. Instead, he took a deep breath and analyzed the situation. He reached out to mentors, revised his business strategy, and worked tirelessly to turn things around. It wasn't easy, and there were many sleepless nights, but he persevered, and today, his business is thriving. He didn't just survive the crisis, This brings us to another important aspect of resilience, the support of others. Building resilience doesn't mean going it alone. We all need a network of support friends, family, mentors who can offer advice, encouragement, and a listening ear. Don't hesitate to reach out when you're struggling. Sharing your burdens makes them lighter, and the insights of others can provide new perspectives and solutions. Another essential component of resilience is maintaining a sense of purpose. When you have a clear purpose or goal, it gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when the going gets tough. Ask yourself, what is my why? What drives me to keep pushing through challenges? Whether it's providing for your family, achieving a personal dream, or making a difference in the world, your purpose is your anchor in the storm. Now, let's consider the power of positive thinking. Resilient people maintain an optimistic outlook, even in the face of difficulties. They focus on what they can control and let go of what they can't. They see setbacks as temporary and believe in their ability to overcome them. This positive mindset fuels their perseverance and keeps them moving forward. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. How did you handle it? What did you learn from it? Reflecting on past experiences can help you recognize your own resilience and understand that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Building resilience and emotional strength is a continuous process. Embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth. Seek support from others and lean on your network. Maintain a sense of purpose and keep a positive outlook. These practices will help you bounce back from setbacks and face future challenges with confidence. Remember, resilience is not about never falling down. It's about getting back up every time you do. It's about facing life's challenges head-on and emerging stronger and wiser. The role of relationships in our emotional well-being. Relationships are the cornerstone of our lives. Think about it. So how often do our emotions stem from our interactions with others? Our joy, our sorrow, our anger, our love. So much of what we feel is influenced by the people around us. Healthy relationships can lift us up, while toxic ones can drag us down. So how do relationships affect our emotions? Picture this: you've had a tough day at work, but when you come home to a loving family, their support can make you feel better. On the other hand, if you come home to conflict, it can intensify your stress. Relationships have a profound impact on our emotional state. The people we surround ourselves with can either be a source of strength or a source of stress. Maintaining healthy and supportive relationships is crucial. It starts with communication. Open, honest communication is the foundation of any strong relationship. It means sharing your thoughts and feelings openly and listening to others without judgment. When was the last time you really listened to someone without thinking about your response? Truly listening can make a world of difference. A key part of maintaining healthy relationships is showing appreciation. How often do we take the time to express gratitude to those we care about? A simple thank you or a kind word can go a long way in strengthening bonds. Appreciation creates a positive environment and reinforces the connection between people. Now, let's talk about handling conflicts and emotional challenges in relationships. Conflict is inevitable. It's a natural part of any relationship. But it's not the conflict itself that matters. It's how we handle it. When emotions run high, it's easy to say things we don't mean. The key is to stay calm and address the issue, not the person. Focus on finding a solution rather than assigning blame. Let me share a story. A couple I know had constant arguments about their finances. Each discussion would quickly turn into a heated exchange, with both sides feeling unheard and misunderstood. They decided to try a different approach. Instead of arguing, they sat down and each wrote out their concerns and goals. When they read each other's notes, they realized they had more common ground than they thought. This exercise allowed them to discuss the issue calmly and find a compromise. It wasn't easy, but by changing how they approached conflict, they were able to strengthen their relationship. Another important aspect is forgiveness. Holding on to grudges and past hurts only weighs you down. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning the behavior, but it means letting go of the resentment. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden of moving forward. Ask yourself, is holding on to this hurt serving me? More often than not, the answer is no. Building and maintaining healthy relationships also means setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential for ensuring that your needs are respected and that you're not overextending yourself. It's okay to say no when you need to. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, and that includes respecting each other's limits. Let's take a moment to reflect. Are there relationships in your life that need nurturing? Are there conflicts that need addressing? It's never too late to improve the way you interact with others. Start with small steps. Practice active listening, express appreciation, handle conflicts with calmness, and set healthy boundaries. These actions can transform your relationships and, in turn, your emotional health. Remember, we are not islands. We thrive through connection. By fostering positive relationships, we create a supportive network that can help us navigate life's ups and downs. So let's commit to nurturing our relationships, resolving conflicts with grace, and building a strong support system. Think about this. How often do we get comfortable with where we are? It's easy to fall into a routine and stop seeking growth. But the truth is, personal development is a lifelong commitment. It's about constantly striving to be better today than you were yesterday. It's about recognizing that no matter how much you've achieved, there's always more to learn, more to experience, and more to accomplish. Ongoing personal development is crucial because it keeps you moving forward. It prevents stagnation and helps you adapt to the ever-changing world around you. Whether it's learning new skills, gaining new insights, or improving your emotional intelligence, personal development keeps you vibrant and engaged. Embracing change and growth is particularly important in emotional mastery. Life is unpredictable, and our ability to navigate its ups and downs hinges on our willingness to grow. Imagine a tree that never bends with the wind. It breaks under pressure. But a tree that sways and adapts survives and thrives. Similarly, when we embrace change, we become more resilient, more adaptable, and better equipped to handle whatever comes our way. Let me share a story about a colleague who truly embodied the spirit of continuous improvement. He was already successful in his career, but never stopped seeking ways to grow. He attended seminars, read extensively, and always sought feedback. One day, he faced a significant professional setback. Instead of seeing it as a failure, he viewed it as a learning opportunity. He analyzed what went wrong, sought advice from mentors, and implemented new strategies. His willingness to embrace change and commit to personal growth not only helped him recover, but propelled him to even greater success. So, how do we start this process of continuous improvement? It begins with a mindset shift. Ask yourself, what areas of my life can I improve? What skills do I want to develop? Identify your goals and create a plan to achieve them. Remember, it's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about small, consistent steps that lead to significant progress over time. Start by setting aside time each day for personal development. It could be as simple as reading a few pages of a book, practicing a new skill, or reflecting on your experiences. Consistency is key. These small daily actions accumulate and lead to substantial growth. I encourage you to start today. Take that first step, no matter how small. Begin with one aspect of your life you want to improve and commit to working on it consistently. Embrace the challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and push you to be better. Remember, the journey of continuous improvement is not a destination. It's a way of life. It's about being open to new experiences, learning from your mistakes, and constantly seeking to better yourself. As you commit to this path, you'll find that your emotional mastery, your relationships, and your overall well-being will flourish. Thank you for your time and attention today. Let's go forth with a renewed commitment to personal growth and emotional mastery. The best version of yourself is waiting to be discovered. Start today and keep moving forward. Thank you.